What is up, everybody? The Destroyer here, and welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.2 version 5.0.1. Today we have a 2v2 on Buckland. So, let's check it out, shall we? We have our first player, Alexis, as dwarves in the top right, and his ally for this match is In Shock as the elves in the top left. In the bottom left, we have C12D13 as Angmar on the opposing team, and we have his ally John J. Rambo as Mordor. So we got ourselves a Mordor Angmar versus dwarves and elves. So good versus evil, actually. Interesting. Cool. Alright, well, we'll see what triumphs good versus evil. Alright, Lexus going for a Hall of Warriors here. Pretty standard start there. Nice placement for the barracks, the Hall of Warriors. Got his flag queued up in front of his mines, of course, so he can send his guys immediately into the mine system, which is always good. There's an outpost, of course, in the center of Buckland, in case you somehow don't know that. And there's Golem, because he's a thing. He could be a thing later on, I couldn't tell you. But it's always nice to see a ring hero being used when they can. Looks like we do have a Hall of the King's Men for C12D13 there. He'll be getting some thralls undoubtedly. Yeah. There he goes, thralling it up. And his ally, who's this again? Oh yeah, Rambo. Rambo is getting some orc warriors from his orc pit. And In Shock going for Lorien warriors as his starting units. So opting not to play a defensive game. Some players like to start with archers instead of swordsmen, but it's not necessarily a good thing to do. It's something I do a lot because I'm more of a passive player myself, more a defensive player. But kind of Rise of the Witch King kind of really supports being aggressive. That's really the way that you should play the game, I think. Not defensively. If you play too defensively, your opponent will usually spiral out of control. It looks like Angmar trying to capture the outpost. He actually will claim it for a little bit. So he will start benefiting from the money from it. For a time, at least. In Shock chasing off the Angmar troops. But it looks like C12D13 will actually get away with that battalion. At least to die somewhere else. And the elves will claim the outpost. Looks like no one opting to knock it down, interestingly. So that's the thing. Alexis has a couple battalions of guardians here to defend his area. He's got himself a archery range coming up. Very nice. That should help once he gets... He's probably going to go for Axors. Not going to go for the Men of Dale, I would imagine. Not this early. They're a bit expensive. We do have Lorien archers on the field now, which of course are great for defense and attacking, I guess, as well. In Shock also going for Mithlond sentries to help protect his guys. Possibly kill the Troll if he wants to, I don't know. Probably won't do that, but you know. It's an option. I do hear horses, indeed I do. Well, I guess I technically know. Those aren't really horses. They are wolf riders from Angmar, which are not the greatest cavalry, but they are cavalry, and they do what the cavalry do best. Trample guys and harass well, I suppose. See that? Trample, get out of there. I don't think they actually killed a single dwarf in that charge. Just shows the sturdiness of dwarves, doesn't it? It's the only team that can really be trampled well and taken on the chin, so to speak. That Dwarven builder definitely needs to get out of there. Navigating his way through the treacherous enemies. Alexis does have a lot of guys on the field here. A lot of dwarves. We have Haradrim Lancers out for Rambo. Very nice. Definitely a good unit to bring out to bear against the elves. Against elves, you definitely want cavalry. It's really a must, actually. But you just have to be careful with these Mithlond sentries, of course. But dire wolves, nice. Dire wolves are actually great against Mithlond sentries. These are good against pikemen, unlike like warg riders or warg packs. That's what I would say. Warg packs, which are good against swordsmen and archers. Or actually, is it just swordsmen? Might just be swordsmen. Everything's really good against archers if they get up close enough. But these actually really tear their way through those. So this is a good combo. Wolf Riders and Wolf Packs definitely good. And then he's bringing in orcs. Gundabad orcs as well. She has thrown down a war chant on. So I'd say C12, D13 doing the right thing here against his elven opponents. And Alexis bringing the Dwarven might against Rambo down here in the south. Rambo has gone for Haradrim Archers, definitely a strong archer unit. Haradrim Archers and Black Orcs, not a bad combo. Unfortunately, he's up against Dwarven units with buffs. It's going to take quite a few arrows to bring them down. Look how tanky they are. When they're in whole ground stance and they're buffed, they're just really tanky. And once they get up to the archers, they're just going to start cutting their way through. Looks like the elves have defended up here. And Shock shall start rebuilding undoubtedly. He might lose this Mallorn tree though, which would be unfortunate for him. We of course do have a Troll Wolf Den now, as we have already saw the Dire Wolves and the Dire Wolf packs in the Wolf Raiders. Looks like Cam is a bit in control over here, I'd say. Oh, Alexis is Cam, by the way. That was completely random, if you don't know who that is. But Alexis has quite a good control, I'd say, right now, of this area. He's got a strong Dwarven army, but he is being attacked by Angmar. So C12 trying to help his ally out here by sending troops in to attack Alexis. Of course, in the 2v2, helping your ally is crucial if he needs it. Or she, somehow. If there is a she. I doubt not many females play this game, but you never know. And the Direwolves trying to fight off the Mythlon sentries here. They may do well against the sentries, but they don't do well against the archers, so that is something. Of course, we have the Gundabad warriors, which are definitely good against them, because swords are good against pikes. And Mythlon sentries are actually very bad pikemen. They're not the best. So they will be eaten alive, pretty much. This is the counter army to a pike army for elves, really. But elves have very strong archers that take down both of these units very nicely, so it kind of balances out in a way. It's a very rock, paper, scissors system that this game has, which I find quite nice, actually. I like the rock, paper, scissors. I can't say the word scissors for some reason. Scissors. There you go. System the game has, because it's easier to balance that way if you think about it. And we have some Haradrim archers coming across the field here. Looks like Rambo going for an attack. He's bringing Haradrim lancers as well. He's just going full on Harad today. The men of Harad going for an attack. All he needs now is a Muma kill. Unfortunately, I don't see any Muma kill in sight. He could go for his Men of the East, which is always a fun strategy to do. Both these builders trying to get out of here. That builder almost died. Being sent back out. Oh, he's going to run right into these Haradrim. Unfortunately for them, he's built a mine shaft. The army of the dwarves has been buffed. The Men of Dale against the Haradrim archers unbuffed. The Haradrim archers, of course, will lose. Quite painfully, in fact. In Shock, fending off attacks left and right. Fortunately, for him, he is elves, so he can fend off attacks fairly well. Ooh, that was a bad trample. Rambo running his guys right into the phalanxes of Alexis, losing them easily. Ah, nice. We have an Angmar army with Black Numenorians and Axe Throwers, and 1 battalion of Gundabad warriors as well, for good measure. From C12, D13 there. Meanwhile, Alexis is capturing the Signifier, which is always nice to do, because of course that does give him a power recharge timer, which is always lovely to have. The quicker you can use your powers, the better, really. That's a lot of Men of Dale. Is that like 3 battalions, 4 battalions? I think it's 3. Not too sure though. They are dropping like flies though. They're not the tankiest. Once you give them a mithril mail, though, they are kind of pretty tanky. Hard to kill, actually, once they get their mithril mail. Looks like I almost called him In Control. Pretty sure that's a player for, like, StarCraft or Dota or something. I don't remember. Anyway, In Shock. Pushing out. Is he going to go help his ally, or is he going for... Not sure what he's doing yet. He's going for an attack to try and save Alexis here. Not really save Alexis. Alexis doesn't need saving. He has plenty of guys to help Alexis, I should say. There's a better wording. We do have a Haldir here. Somewhere. There he is. He's level 1, though. So he has some leveling up to do before he'll become really useful. But he is pretty useful in itself, with his bow mode and whatnot. We do have Dark Rangers. I always want to call them Black Rangers, but it's Dark Rangers and the Black Numenorians. And you could just call them Dark Numenorians and Black Rangers. Why not? Just mix it up a little. Of course, that's wrong, so no, I wouldn't do that. Elvenwood being thrown down. Sounds like we have a summon as well. That's going to be right in the archer line of that. Oh, yeah. That's always deadly. Having Orc summon or Wildman summon on the archer line of the elves. That can cost you a lot of lives. Unfortunately, the elven army is absolutely crushed. Haldir being the only survivor, it looks like. Except for these two. Nope, they're dead. Haldir being the only survivor. Jeez, brutal. Oh, Golem's been spotted and is being shot by Dark Rangers. And he is taken out. Will someone claim the Ring of Power? The builder here could actually claim it if you wanted to. No, opting not to instead. I'd say if you knew this game was going to drag on for a while, you might want to get the Ring of Power. Just to stop your enemy from claiming it, at least. Because if your enemy somehow gets a Galadriel or Sauron on the field, that can pretty much end the game for you if you're not prepared for it. It doesn't look like anyone's ready as of yet to do that, but... And it looks like Rambo has claimed the Ring of Power. Which is probably the right person to claim it. The rightful heir to the ring would be Sauron, so... You might... It just feels right. But of course, he's not sending these guys back to his base. He needs his army here. He's not worried about the ring, really. But he may very well just be delivering it to Alexis. It is on the archers, at least. Still sit in the back. This builder... I don't know if he knows there's a builder here or not. This is a curious decision. Looks like he's using barrage. His arrows are arching and setting fire to the ground here. His builder's dying. C12 is about to lose it, unfortunately. Maybe not. This attack seems to be going well, though. Lots of Angmar troops and Mordor troops still on the field here. Unfortunately, they are running through the fire. This is not good. This builder actually would be super useful. Ah, my arrow key got stuck. The builder could be super useful right now. Put out that fire, but nope, opting not to. Unfortunately, Alexis is in trouble, and his ally is here to help at least. Will In Shock have what it takes to fend off this Angmar army here? Oh, the fell wind. Throwing the guys down. He should have long-shotted while he had the chance. If you throw down a long shot and then fell wind, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit the army. And that they're elves, they'll drop because their armor is not very high. That would have been a good call, but he did not do that. Now he's throwing it down. It's an interesting placing for it. Only nicked a few of them, it looks like. Nice one on that one, though. Killed a lot of them. It looks like Alexis has got the ring now. Because he has these golden banners now. Of course, you get a banner look upgrade when you get the ring, which is kind of cool. Let's take a look at powers and whatnot while we're at it. So we have Alexis, the Dwarven player in the top right. We have Men of Dale, Rebuild, Heal, Rally Call, 7 power points, 332 of 525 power points. In Shock is Elven ally in the top left. Has Elvenwood, Rally Call, 5 power points, and 350 of 735. Let's get a better spot there. There we go. C12D13, the Angmar player in the bottom left, has Summon Orcs, Fellwind, War Chant. I always want to call that Rally Call every time. 13 power points and 424 of 750. And we have John J. Rambo. Oh, it looks like Gothmog fell there. He's got Industry, Arrow Volley, War Chant, Taint the Land, 3 power points, and 439 of 675. So no one's up to a 15 yet, I don't think. Or Menadale 15? Menadale actually... No, they're 10. That's right. Those are 10. Yeah, no one has a 15 yet. We have 2 10s here for Mordor there. But no one has a 15-point power yet. That'll change soon enough, I'm sure. Well, Alexis finally fending off that attack. Managed to starting rebuilding power here a bit. Unfortunately, this Roger Lancer's charged right into the phalanxes. It did not end well. He does have a King Dane out in the field. We'll give leadership, of course, to all these archers and phalanxes, which is also very nice for him. Putting him into whole ground stance, so he's a bit tankier. Good call. Oh, we got the long shot. Will he get out in time? If you guys did not, unfortunately. What level's Haldir? Level 5 now. One more level, he gets his leadership. So he definitely wants that, desperately. Haldir leadership on the Mirkwoods, definitely a beastly thing to have. We have lots of Haradrim archers with fire arrow upgrades, and lots of Dark Rangers without their frost arrow upgrades. Still very dangerous. Southern team has a lot of archers. Really, at this point, I'd say cavalry from the elves would be a good call. Otherwise, we're going to have issue. Battle wagons. Yeah. If he can sneak a battle wagon up on these Dark Rangers, they will do fairly good damage. But yeah, the southern team is not using pikes, so I mean, really, cavalry would be the way to go here. But the northern team, neither of them opting to use any. They're going to try to overpower them with force. And I say to that, good luck. Good luck, my friends. Roger archers with the fire arrows, very strong. Of course, they can get heavy armor too, which is also quite useful. Doesn't have it, but... Ooh, he's taking down Inshok's barracks. That's the good one as well. It's up to level 2. And that is the one he makes Mirkwoods from. I doubt he just canceled the Mirkwoods as well. Oh no, we have a Blight. Look at the army of the dwarves being turned to whites. Blight can be so devastating. And now he has an army of undead to force him to flee with. And then this will persist for 2 minutes, I believe, in this patch. It is being changed next patch, thank God. Because I think it entirely lasts too long. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. This archer range is level 3. So he can get the fire arrow upgrades undoubtedly. That would make sense. See how the elves faring over here. Oh, crap. We have troll stone throwers over here from C12D13. I'm just gonna call him C12. Not add the D13. Unnecessary. Angmar's base looks pretty safe though. It's got a few arrow towers, a few wall hubs here and there. Very nice. It's always nice to upgrade your fort when you have time, but not when you really need troops in the field. Nice barrage. Looks like it hit a fair amount of dwarves there. That was undoubtedly from Rambo, since Angmar can't summon it. Indeed. Looks like he has Industry ready to be used again. He should really throw that down. Of course, we had Blight. Inshok used Elvenwood or Cloudbreak at some point. I don't remember seeing it, but it did happen. Alexis is getting close to a 15-point power as well. Very close, in fact. He's really trying to bring down the fort. He wants to get the fort down there, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to manage. Oh, well, all the melee guys from the elves have been killed by the archers. of Angmar. These guys need to be sent in immediately. Haldir looks like he's going to finish that one. Very nice. Up to level 7 now. At level 10 he gets the golden arrow. I don't know how good it is, to be honest. I rarely see it. That red effect, I think, is King Dane's buff, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Mighty Rage. I rarely see it used, but it does give a, basically, target friendly units gain 33% damage and armor, reduces target enemy's armor and damage, nullifies enemy leadership. It's a useful ability, but you don't see it used often. But it does have that red effect. That's why I don't recognize it every time I see it. Although that's why I recognize it every time I see it now, because I didn't before. But it's definitely different from the other patches of this game, where that is a heal, which is really overpowered. Giving the dwarves 2 heals. I remember dealing with that for years. It's quite brutal. Unfortunately, this patch does not have that. We have a Witch King from Rambo over here. Witch King and Gothmog, no less. Once Gothmog gets to level 5, he'll be able to have leadership on all these orcs as well, which will be great for him. Look at this horde. Just moving around. I definitely say the southern team has the advantage here. The northern team has been on the defensive for quite some time. So I think eventually they will be overwhelmed. That is a lot of Dark Rangers. And with these Troll Stone Throwers, it's just only going to get worse. And he's going for Hill Trolls as well, which are pretty tanky. Oh, very nice. Use the foe, and he's really getting in there with these. Undoubtedly because he clicked on the fortress, it didn't have line of sight, so I tried to go around some awkward situation to do it. This is curious. What is he doing? C12, what are you doing? Unfortunately, he just threw his Troll Stone Thrower away. All his pikemans are dead, and now these Rivendell Lancers, which are very late to the party in my opinion, can finally do some damage. Morgrimir, of course, is having none of it, and he's cutting them down fairly quickly. But, for the most part, the Dark Rangers have been nullified. So they definitely did their job. Let's go over here. Let's see how Rambo's attack on Alexis goes. So we have a lot of orcs. Gothmog falling once again. Men of Dale being summoned in to help the dwarves in their time of need. And it looks like Alexis will hold, but he has lost a lot, it looks like. He has no production buildings of any kind. So that is a bit of a problem. I probably want to take care of that as soon as possible. How's he doing on economy? He's actually sitting on... Oh, he's going for the power. He's going for the ring hero. That's why he's not building anything. He's up to 9,000 almost. Looks like his ally sent him a bit of cash as well. And he has purchased it. Of course, he does have the banner, which reduces the cost by 1,000. And we will see a Galadriel in this game. Most excellent. We'll see if that pays off in a big way or is a major waste of money. Most of the time it pays off in a big way, so we'll see. But that'll be fun, as it always is. And the Rivendell Lancers, of course, doing great damage now. The Elves should, in theory, increase in power a bit now that he has cavalry support. If he would have got these like 10 minutes ago, he would have done so much better. Of course, they won't be effective against these hill trolls, but the Mirkwoods will. What are you doing? Don't do that. I don't know if Inshock realizes that cavalry is not good against hill trolls. He must have attack moved his entire army and they got there first. I do that sometimes. But you gotta remember to move them away. Because these things will just tear through your cavalry easily. There's a beacon being placed over here. He's got Troll Stone Throwers. He's got a Hualdar. Very nice. He should really go for the upgrade of the Ice Shot. Oh, he's got it. Good. Does so much more damage when you have the Ice Shot on. Rambo's army's looking fairly tough. Very sizable. Roger marches fire arrows, lots of orcs, and of course being led by the Witch King himself. So Rambo has potential to do a lot of damage to Alexis. Of course, once Galadriel comes out, it'll be a different story. she will have a different say, a different opinion on the matter, I'd say. There's a lot of Mirkwoods on the field here. I think Inshok should go for Silverthorns. That would make it brutal. That many Mirkwood archers with Silverthorns is absolutely just monstrous. We have a Hobbit summon here. Immediately using the Vial of Galadriel to cause fear upon the ranks of the enemy. Always a good thing to remember to use. Oh, the Fellwind. Down goes the Elven Wood and the Orc summon. They're going to start carving their way through the Mirkwood archers. Although not doing a very good job of it, I gotta say. The whole summon is dead. Witch King is trying desperately to get to them. There we go. I know the Witch King is going to have a field day here. Very nice indeed. And there's Galadriel. She has arrived. That's going to make things a bit difficult for the southern team. But Witch King is definitely getting his levels. Of course, he can fly away from Galadriel if he wants to, but he will dare not mount near a bunch of Mirkwoods. That's a death sentence waiting to happen. So he definitely won't do that. Let's see what's going on over here. A bunch of cave trolls taking down the fortress of Inshok, as well as some snow trolls doing some tramplings and whatnot. And Morgomir is here as well. Morgomir's ruin ability is really good against buildings. Unfortunately, he's nowhere near level 10. I think he'll get the fortress though. The trolls are gone, but Morgomir is not. So unless he can bring down Morgomir and these snow trolls. Oh, the barrage is going to finish the fortress of Inshok. Very nice. Now the elves are down a fortress. Although Galadriel has come to save him. Will he manage to save him though is the question. Galadriel against Morgomir. Clash of the Titans. I don't know about that. Morgomir, of course, taking arrows to the back as well as being smashed by Galadriel. Unfortunately for Morgomir, he's not going to get away either. Galadriel is very fast, as you see there. I don't think many heroes can get away from Galadriel. She's a very quick one. And of course, we do have an Untamed Allegiance on this troll lair, which is where Angmar is getting his hill trolls from. Or cave trolls, rather. It's always a good thing to do as Angmar, if you can. Because cave trolls are very strong, and you don't have a real troll unit. You have hill trolls and you have snow trolls, but none of them are actual siege trolls, I guess I'll call them. And it looks like Inshok is building a new fortress in the back of Alexis' base. Meanwhile, Alexis and Rambo are going at it over here. Sounds like Gothmog died once again. He seems to do that a lot. I know how it is. I lose my Gothmog every time I play with him, unfortunately. Of course, I lose heroes left and right, so let's not talk about that. Yes, the Mouth of Sauron. He's not up to level 4, unfortunately. That was very useful against enemies. Descent is even better, but of course that's his level 10 in this patch. Oh no. Fellwind being used, Blight being used as well. Will it manage to kill enough? There we go, they're starting the chain reacting the whites. I think the white effect only lasts for 10 seconds or something like that. But then the blighted poison land lasts for like 2 minutes or something. I think that's how it works. There's Galadriel's tornado. Very ferocious storm. Of course, you can move that tornado around as well, which is always handy. And the white's actually stopping those Rivendell Lancers from claiming the outpost. That's amusing. Rambo going for a ferocious attack on the dwarves. Alexis gonna have to put up a hell of a defense here. He should really use his Mighty Rage or something. He could. Would definitely benefit his troops. There he goes. Very nice. And we have C12 summoning Mountain Giants in to help siege Alexis out a bit. And it looks like that Hall of Warriors will fall with the catapult support there. Although Galadriel knocking those catapults out pretty much instantaneously. And sending that Hell Troll to an early grave. Galadriel is very difficult to deal with. I'd say she's more difficult to deal with than Sauron, actually. She's very quick. So she can do a lot of damage, and then she can run away. Sauron can't really do that well, as you might imagine. He's very slow. He's a cool guy, so he can only walk places. That's just how it is. I was gonna say, why would he walk over the Blight? Of course, it's on his team. Blight does not hurt your allies. Alexis placing a beacon by this troll lair, showing he really needs to destroy it, which I would agree. Inshock needs to get rid of that, or there's just going to be more and more trolls out in the field. Some of these Merkwood's up to level 5. Definitely want to keep them alive. Unfortunately, they're taking a lot of fire from the Dark Rangers, who now have the fire... Actually, Ice Arrow upgrades, not fire. So we have a Hobbit summon here. Looks like a long shot being thrown down. Taking out majority of those Hobbits. Nice use of a long shot, I'd say. Of course, Frodo's still alive. He could use his vial if he wanted to as well. But the elves do not have the power to take out the troll lair, unfortunately. And he is being attacked by Black Riders as well as Mouth of Sauron and some stuff as well. Rambo going for a big attack on the elves. Since their fortress is gone here, it should be easy for them to clean up over here. They could take the barracks out, get his economy crushed, and the elves will be pretty much nullified by that point. And Haldir, of course, having nowhere to run, is run down by the Black Riders. An unfortunate turn of events for Inshock. A beacon being placed over here by C12, showing that the dwarves of Alexis are moving in, led by Lady Galadriel. Could be a bit devastating, we'll see. Is Galadriel going to go straight for the fort? Indeed she is. And as you see, she does fairly decent damage against the fortress. She'll take that fortress down well before she dies. And I think the dwarves can heal Galadriel as well. Balrog has been summoned though. Intriguing. Galadriel versus the Balrog. A fight of legend. Unfortunately, Galadriel is not going to stick around for that fight. And Balrog will keep his fortress alive for now. Meanwhile, it looks like the elves have pretty much lost the top left. We've got trolls, Black Riders, catapults, and orcs. All kinds of nonsense. Taking out everything over here. Inshock trying to throw a battle tower up. I don't think he's going to have time for that. Unfortunately for him. And with that loss of that area, that is all his economy, basically. So the elves will basically be knocked out of the game at that point. He'll have a fortress. He may have a standing army at some point. Actually, I don't think he does. I think the elven army is dead entirely. Except for these lancers, really. Who managed to get out of the base just in time. Ooh, barely making it out. If he could get them to these hearths over here, he could actually heal them up. Looks like he sent them to deal with some orcs, but they might fall to the orcs instead. They'll definitely fall to the cave troll. I know that much. The Mouth of Sauron's gonna chase him down on foot. Adorable. Oh! Oh dear. Looks like a big attack from Alexis went on the fortress of Rambo. Somehow I missed it. He must have undermined him there. Did he indeed? No, probably not. I don't see undermine on his power list. He just walked. He is at 25 powers though. Top power points. He's gone for Earthquake. He could knock Rambo out of the game. Of course, he's not going to waste it on this. He has the power here to actually take this out and then use that power on Angmar instead. So I think the northern team is actually going to win this game, even though I thought it was going to be the other way around. Very interesting. The catapult being turned to throw corpses. That's the word I'm looking for. Skulls. I think that's what it is. To cause fear in the dwarves. Angmar summoning some good and bad warriors there. The Black Riders returning home to find their base in ruin, which is not ideal, of course. Alexis throwing down a mine shafts, immediately moving in before the enemies moved out. The Witch King is not going to have any of that. Where's Galadriel at? Is she still alive? Surely. There she is. Ah. Mordor Fortress being thrown up there. Earthquake being used on it. And the builder getting slaughtered by Galadriel. Unfortunate. That might knock out Rambo, though. I don't think Rambo had a building over there. So his last building is actually this siege works. So Mordor essentially has actually been defeated. It's just a matter of making it official. He has a few heroes on the field, I think, as well. Somewhere. Possibly. There they are. But as soon as you get rid of that siege works, that'll be it. And of course Alexis knows exactly what's keeping him alive. And he will take that immediately. And down goes John J. Rambo. Into the annals of history. Right. Ooh, nice Fellwind. I always hate to see Fellwind used late game without some sort of follow-up. It's just like, what's the point of Fellwinding an army if you're not going to like throw down some arrow volleys or use a power on them or something? It just seems like a waste to me. But at this point, I guess it's emergency mode. C12 is going to be in a bit of trouble with a very strong Dwarven army barreling down on him. And the elves even starting to recover a bit of strength. Only just. He's got his barracks, he's got his fortress. He's got another barracks. He's starting to get trees now, which of course in turn will give him money. Alexis of course could have been funneling money to him as well, which is a nice thing you can do for your ally if your ally has no economy. Give him a bit of your own so he can jumpstart it. But yeah, this game's pretty much over, I'd say. So to siege out Angmar unless he concedes, but I'm thinking he'll fight it to the end. I'm thinking, so we'll get to watch him siege him out. Sounds like King Dain is up to level 8. There's his Royal Guard. Very nice. They come out fully upgraded, of course. These guys even come out with a charge attack, which is nice. But that Dwarven army will definitely take down anything it's going up against fairly quickly. Oh, and the Angmar guy's going right into that tornado of Galadriel's. Oh dear, that's not good. I don't remember what it's called. A frost tower or whatever. They can fire. The Winter's Wrath is up. Please tell me he's going to use it. Ah, yeah, there we go. Alexis's army is about to get a lot smaller. Very nice indeed. The Icy Gorgoroth Spire, as I like to call it. And they will get out of there now. King Dain will flee. Him and his personal bodyguard here, trying to make an escape. Blight being thrown down over here. Slowly draining the life of those elves. Looks like none of them managed to die from it though, so no one got turned to whites, which is always lovely for the elves. Of course he's thrown out a heal to make sure that none of them do. Good use of the tornado, keeping it out in the fortress. It's unresistible damage. Once you put a tornado on a building, you cannot do anything about it until just waiting it out. That's all you can do. Barrage is coming close to being on cooldown there. Off cooldown. Seems Inshock actually has Sunflare. Ah, there you go. C12 has conceded. And that is the end of the game. Alright, well, that was an entertaining 2v2. I like that. And hopefully that was a good watch as well for you guys. So, hopefully you enjoyed that cast, and I'll see you guys in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02 version 5.0.1. See you guys next time.